Claude Fable 5, Grok 4.5, and Claude Opus 4.8 just ran through the same 5 tests. Coding benchmarks, cost per task, long context reasoning, speed, and safety guardrails scored head-to-head. The surprise is that the model with the best benchmark score isn't the one that wins this comparison. The cheaper, unranked one is. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one to run your next coding task through, and why a 95% score doesn't tell the whole story. This is the test most people search this comparison to settle. Claude Fable 5 leads SWE Bench verified, the benchmark built on real GitHub issues at 95.0%, according to official docs. Claude Opus 4.8 trails at 88.6%. Grok 4.5 has no published figure on this benchmark, which is the one time I'll say that plainly because it matters here. Fable 5 also wins the Goldie Bench average, 8.10 out of 10 against Opus 4.8's 7.51. On Autobench and Agentic Coding Suite, Fable 5 scores 17.4% against Opus 4.8's 15.5%. If raw coding accuracy is the only thing you care about, this test is already over. Claude Fable 5 takes 0.1, 3 benchmarks, 3 wins for Fable 5. My name is Brian, and I spend most of my week digging through AI products, benchmarks, APIs, and pricing pages to figure out where these tools actually differ. Here's where the story flips. According to community-reported figures, Fable 5 costs $5.30 per coding task. Claude Opus 4.8 runs $4.22. Grok 4.5 comes in at $2 to $6, community-reported, but the low end of that range undercuts both Claude models. There's a real efficiency wrinkle, though. Fable 5 uses about 832,000 output tokens on a task, where Opus 4.8 burns through 2 million. So Fable 5 is genuinely more token efficient, it just charges more per task despite that. At 100 coding tasks a month, the difference between running Grok at the low end of its range and running Fable 5 works out to roughly $350 a month. Grok 4.5 takes this one. Score: Fable 5 1, Grok 4.5 1. That's not a rounding error, that's a real line item. Back to the benchmarks and back to Fable 5. On the same Goldie Bench suite, Fable 5's 8.10 beats Opus 4.8's 7.51 on complex reasoning tasks specifically. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. But the number that actually tells you something is the head-to-head. On shared tasks, Fable 5 beats Opus 4.8, 28 wins to 14. Grok 4.5 isn't in this particular benchmark, so there's nothing to compare it against here. Fable 5 wins clean. Score: Fable 5 2, Grok 4.5 1. That's not a close call, that's a blowout. Stick with me, because the last 4 tests are where this decision actually flips. Benchmarks don't measure what a task feels like while you're waiting on it, and that's exactly where this test lives. Community consensus, not a published number, says Grok 4.5 feels faster on real coding tasks. Both Claude models feel slower, with Opus 4.8 in particular taking longer, even on easy tasks. The token math from earlier backs this up sideways. Fable 5 needs 832,000 output tokens to Opus 4.8's 2 million on comparable work, so Fable 5 is the more efficient of the 2 Claude models. But efficient isn't the same as fast, and on raw feel, Grok 4.5 is the one people report as snappier. Grok 4.5 takes this test. Score: Fable 5 2, Grok 4.5 2. Benchmarks don't measure what a task feels like while you're waiting on it, and that's exactly where this test lives. This is the test that decides how usable a model actually is once you're deep into a real workflow. Community reports describe both Claude models as strict on refusals, and that strictness shows up as a real cost. It can block legitimate coding tasks that have nothing wrong with them. Grok 4.5's refusal behavior is described as balanced by comparison, with fewer refusals getting in the way of actual work. On the usability trade-off specifically, Claude's strictness reads as frustrating in community reports, while Grok's approach reads as usable. Neither side has a published safety benchmark here. This is a workflow field test, and Grok wins it. Final score, Fable 5.2, Grok 4.5 3, Opus 4.80. Claude Fable 5 is the benchmark king. It leads SWE bench verified at 95.0% against Opus 4.8's 88.6%. It wins Goldie bench 8.10 to 7.51, and it beats Opus 4.8 head-to-head 28 to 14 on shared reasoning tasks. It's also more token efficient than Opus 4. Here is where Grok 4.5 clearly pulls ahead of the field. Now, here is where Claude Opus 4.8 clearly pulls ahead of the field. Claude Fable 5 is the benchmark king. It leads SWE bench verified at 95.0% against Opus 4.8's 88.6%. It wins Goldie bench 8.10 to 7.51, and it beats Opus 4.8 head-to-head 28 to 14 on shared reasoning tasks. It's also more token efficient than Opus 4. One thing the docs never spell out will quietly cost you if you miss it. If this helped, the next breakdown on the channel goes even deeper.